Oh, Elisa, you are definitely best girl. I wish you would spank me like the bad boy I am.
Here you are, Barack. Why did you run out of Jollibee like that? Barack, what are you doing right now?
Nothing, I was just going over some important business stuff. Let me close this email real quick.
No, that's not an email. That looks like a visual novel. Barack, are you gooning in a public airport? You said you wouldn't do it again after last time.
You're gooning. Is that when you pretend you're a generic henchman from a video game? I want to try. Hey, boss, I think Dad saw does Spider-Man. I'ma get him. Come on, boys. Let's teach this knucklehead a lesson.
No, gooning is, how do I put this in a way you'd understand? It's when you look at sad photos on the internet and touch your wee-wee until you almost let out happy juice, but stop before you do for the thrill.
Oh, that's cringe.
Not always. There is such a thing as responsible gooning. I practice it myself, but it certainly isn't done in a Filipino airport named after an assassination victim.
I told you I wasn't gooning. Yes, I'm playing a visual novel, but it's for research purposes.
Oh yeah, you're working on a hentai visual novel of your own, aren't you? How's that going, by the way?
Badly.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Okay, if you insist you aren't gooning, I'll play along because it's honestly pretty embarrassing for me to stumble upon my friend tripping the light fantastic if you catch my drift. That being said, it'll be harder to overlook the truth with your fly down like that and the button of your pants undone.
Oh, let me fix that. I was just making room after our big meal at Jollibee, I assure you.
Lying makes it worse. So, moving on, what game is this? I don't recognize it.
It's Everlasting Summer, a Russian visual novel where you play as this guy named Semyon who falls asleep on a bus and wakes up at a Soviet pioneer camp. For an indie, it's peak and has a god-tier score. Do you play many visual novels, Donald?
A few. I got into them after learning how to read a couple years ago. So far, I've mostly played fan-translated ones from Japan. The West never really figured out the visual novel formula, did it?
No, unfortunately it hasn't, but if my game ends up being as good as I hope, I may single-handedly turn that around.
As humble as ever, are we? Tell me about the waifu situation in this game. I see two hot babes on the screen right now.
The one in the middle is the camp counselor. Her name is Olga, then something long and Russian. Unfortunately, she isn't a romance option. The blonde on the right is Slavia. She's your typical good girl waifu.
Nice, I love myself a good girl. Good girls are always begging to go bad, and blondes are peak.
You probably like blondes because they remind you of Hillary.
Nice one, Joe. I see the dementia meds are working today.
Joe, at least I like adult women.
I think Slavia is like 16 at most.
And how old is the waifu you like? What was that name I heard you saying, Elisa?
She's, well, let's drop it for now.
I thought so.
Tell me about it. Barack, can you slow down? I can't read this fast.
No can do, Joe. I play at my own speed.
Brock, there's no way you can read this fast either.
I can totally read this fast. In fact, I can read much faster. The text speed is a little slow for my tastes.
Yeah, sure, you're definitely not rushing through, so you can see the titties faster.
There are no titties in this game.
There aren't? What's the point then? If I wanted to just read a story, I'd go on Wattpad and check out some Silent Hill fanfics.
Well, that's not entirely true. The original version did have titties, but once they moved it to Steam, they took it out. There are mods that restore them, but I don't have any on right now.
So you're seriously gooning in public to drawings of fully clothed women? Oh, Barack, what has happened to you, man? You used to be cultured.
I wasn't gooning.
Okay, so I wasn't going to bring this up, but you forced my hand when Joe and I were walking over. I saw your arm elbow deep in your trousers.
I can explain that. I had an itch on my thigh, and going over the pants wasn't doing the job.
A lot of interesting coincidences happening for you today, huh? And they all happen to line up perfectly with you looking at Weibo shit on your computer.
So it seems.
Is there a lolly character in this game?
There is a lolly character.
How are her endings?
They're not bad. I still like my girl Elisa, though.
You did those endings? Care to explain?
You have to do all the endings to get the true ending. I had no choice.
Oh, is this the Elisa you're so hot for?
Yep, those gorgeous orange locks and that rough attitude just do it for me.
Since I can't read the text with you spamming the enter key like that, do you want to fill us in on what's happening in this scene?
Oh yeah, sure. Here, Elisa is challenging you to a game of cards, and if you lose, she's going to tell everyone that you tried to, since this is going up on our YouTube channel, let's say grape her.
Barack, you like this character?
I sure do.
You like the character who threatens to falsely accuse you of perhaps the most heinous crime possible for no reason at all. You like her more than the other characters, even that cute blonde from earlier?
Absolutely. Elisa is best girl hands down.
Oh boy, Barack, I think you need to see someone.
See someone? Like a therapist? Why?
The fact that you're turned on by incredibly toxic behavior indicates to me that you're dealing with some serious mental baggage, stuff I never knew you had inside.
No, it's just a game.
Barry, pal, I agree with Donald. What led you to be like this? Did someone hurt you a long time ago and you've never come to terms with it?
Guys, haha, this is ridiculous. I swear I'm fine.
Was it Michelle? Or maybe that grandfather of yours in Hawaii? Did he beat you, Barack?
No, of course not. Well, maybe once or twice, but it was the 60s.
That explains it. It must have happened as he was entering puberty and his mind connected sexual arousal with abuse.
Joe, on the plane, you tried to see if you could drink out of the toilet bowl like a dog. And now you're a psychology expert?
I didn't try. I succeeded.
Barack, you're deflecting, and that's fine. I know this topic must be hard for you to face, but trust in us, buddy. We'll get you the help you need first thing once we're back in the States.
Well, whatever.
Is this tournament tree for an orgy or something?
No, it's for the card game tournament where Elisa challenges you.
What's the game, poker or something?
No, it's this like made-up game where you try and make pairs by taking your opponent's cards, but your opponent can like move around the cards to trick you.
How is that a trick? That's just moving cards. Unless you're the Flash, who's going to get fooled by that?
I don't know. I didn't say it was a good game.
I hate when visual novels try and shove little shit like this in them. It reminds me of that weird word game from Doki Doki Literature Club. Like, I guess the idea is that if you put something other than just reading text in your game, you might attract players turned off by the idea of a visual novel. But who's going to read through hours of text just to play a stupid mini game for 5 minutes?
Maybe someone really dumb?
Yeah, maybe, Joe. I don't know.
It may not be a great game, but depending on how long you last and whether you win or lose to different characters, you can unlock scenes and affect the ultimate ending.
Still seems like much ado about nothing, but interesting that you bring up endings. I feel those are what really make or break a visual novel. I'm assuming we won't reach any today, so without getting into spoilers, what are they like?
Oh, they're heartbreaking, but in an inspirational way. The good ones involve Semyon turning his deadbeat life around. The bad ones are sometimes more neutral and sometimes devastating. Lena's bad ending will leave you catatonic the first time you reach it.
Not a bad sell. I'm considering checking this out once I'm in a good place to goon.
You two really should. I found it during the pandemic when I was depressed and hopeless, and it was the perfect time to find something like this. It reached into my soul and left a permanent imprint. I know I'll never relive those few magical days I grinded through all the endings ever again, but I still come back to it nearly every year to experience a piece of it.
I feel the same way about this demo disc I have for the PS1 that has Barbie Explorer on it.
Who's this waifu, Barack? She seems angry, but not insane like that Elisa chick. This girl gives off angry in like a rule follower kind of way. She's the girl who'd berate you for doing your taxes late, but after she berates you, the two of you make out and it's like super hot because she wants it but is still mad.
Just a side librarian character. There's a mod that gives her an ending, but it's sort of mid.
Geez, all this prime goon material being wasted, and they include endings for a psychopath. So I don't get disappointed. Can you tell me who all the real waifu are?
Yeah, there's Slavia and Elisa, who we've discussed. Then there's Lena, who is like a reverse tsundere and super cute, but crazy as hell. Uliana is the name of the lolly. Then Hatsune Miku is actually in the game and has a kind of joke ending. Also, there's a secret waifu who I won't mention.
Is it some furry shit?
I won't say anymore.
Well, it's clear the creators of this game are deeply mentally ill, but so is Hideo Kojima probably, and that man cooks.
Random question, and don't overthink it seriously. It's just a random question, and I know you'll overthink it, but don't. But anyway, can you riz up that guy? Not that I want to, but I'm just wondering for no reason.
The short answer is no, but the long answer is incredibly complicated. There was Def 1 bi-curious dude on the development team. I'll say that.
Cool. Well, now I have 2 reasons for trying out the game when I get home.
The three of us have been really playing fast and loose with our heterosexuality the last couple of years, haven't we?
I blame it on the music of Chapel Roan.
Hey, you guys always knew I cared less about gender than age.
I try to push that fact away as much as I can. But hey, this girl is cute. She's Lena. I'd like to check out her endings.
They're good. There's this beautiful part where you're on this island right off the coast from the camp with her, and it's night, and the two of you are on like opposite sides of a tree. The art in this game is clearly the work of 4 or 5 people, so it's a mixed bag at times, but there are quite a few visually striking images.
Oh, I'm sure. The sprites don't exactly blend, but the backgrounds are pretty.
Yeah, the lighting here looks really nice. It reminds me of a summer camp I went to back in the 70s. I was the head counselor, and I organized a big sleepover in the cafeteria the night before everyone went home. I remember as the sun was setting, looking out over all those cute faces and wishing I could stay there forever. I made so many memories that summer, arts and crafts, hiking, and the night we all went skinny dipping in the lake. I miss those days.
Looking past the skinny dipping, that was a surprisingly unconcerning story, so why did you never go back?
Oh, the camp was shut down under a mountain of lawsuits. I never got the details, but a bunch of parents complained about one of the counselors being a creep or something.
Understandable. That camp should have known better than to hire Joe. There's no way he didn't give off a million red flags in the interview.
All I said is I would kill for the job, or maybe if I didn't get the job too.
So, I know Joe has ruined the mood, but do you guys want to know more about the game?
I guess. You said the main guy wakes up at a pioneer camp, so it's like an isekai?
Sort of. I'd put it more in line with science fiction than with traditional Japanese isekai, though. While no specific technology explaining how he got there is shown, he has a feeling throughout that someone or something sent him there, and he makes inquiries about how to escape. There's a horror element, too, that I don't want to get into to avoid spoilers.
Wait, a loser Russian wakes up surrounded by hot girls who all want him and he tries to escape? Am I getting that right? Because that doesn't exactly track.
Maybe he left his stove on.
That's not it, Joe. Yeah, the desire to get away from the hot girls feels a little odd early on, but come on. He wakes up 30 years in the past and way across the country. No one's going to go into that without any resistance.
I would. I might even go in whole hog if you catch my drift.
I catch your drift.
Because of, like, my penis.
I said I understood.
I had to be sure. I didn't want you to think I was talking about a Hawaiian-style pork barbecue or something.
Ooh, I could go for a pork barbecue right now.
We just had Jollibee.
Jollibee doesn't negate the need for a pork barbecue.
Yeah, that was even Jollibee's slogan briefly in the 80s.
Huh, I think I remember seeing those commercials.
God, this game is slow.
It's a visual novel. What did you expect? Non-stop action?
Is that too much to ask?
Kind of weird these cards all have suggestive pictures of the campers on them.
It's a romance game, so there's going to be stuff like that.
I mean, more in world. These cards were in another camper's cabin, weren't they? That Slavia girl? Did she make them? Did she go around drawing these pictures of her fellow campers to put on the cards? That's kind of creepy.
Well, she wouldn't have made them. They were originally in the counselor's cabin.
Did the counselor make them? How's that better?
The fact that Joe is the one to point all this out really gets at the heart of just how strange it is. And no one is saying anything. This Juliana girl is like 14. Did she not even have a moment of pause to see various drawings of herself on the cards they played the game with? Imagine if you went over to like Chris Coons for a poker night and he whips out a deck of cards full of pictures of you like dressed as a baby or pushing a lawnmower shirtless on them. Are you going to just continue with the game in that situation?
Yeah, I might decide to go home.
Yet these freaks are all like, whatever, deal 'em.
I have a decent counter argument for you, but it would require getting into some lore that both you don't know yet, and also which I don't want to reveal for anyone who plans on playing the game themselves. But in a vacuum, sure, it's bad.
That's a very convenient excuse, isn't it, Barry?
I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm engaging with the critique of the game as well as I can, given the circumstances. Woof, a 3. That sucks.
Why does the girl look black in that picture in the corner?
You can't ask why people look black, Joe.
How am I supposed to learn then?
Finally, are we going to face Elisa now?
Yep, boys, this is for all the marbles, literally.
You get marbles if you win?
No, I meant because of like the context of the bet. I was being figurative.
But you said literally.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. We've all been awake for days. Not everything I say is going to make sense.
I suggested we all split a hotel room. You were the one who turned me down.
It only had a single twin bed in it.
So what? I'm a good cuddler.
What happens if you lose? Does she actually follow through and tell everyone you launched an unauthorized drone strike?
I can't remember exactly, but no. She's just whiny and it hurts your score with her, making a bad ending more likely.
I hate a woman who can't commit. What has happened to keeping your word in relationships?
Normally I'd agree, but I think in this case, this very specific case, I'd say it's a good thing.
Come on, Barack, we know you like to be abused. It's important to acknowledge that in order to recover.
I like the card with long cat on it.
Word to the wise, never try to stretch a cat. Barron has been getting into a lot of trouble lately because of a similar thing.
What?
We didn't know it was happening at first. For me, it was because I was in Japan. For Melania, it's because she didn't think the disappearance of neighborhood cats could possibly be connected to our son, but it was. And there have been a ton of questions from angry cat owners, which I can't even begin to answer.
Are you sure it was Barron?
Yeah, we're sure. Nice, a beach scene, a classic trope in a visual novel. It gives you a chance to get a good look at some waifu skin without it coming across as too pervy.
I don't like the phrase waifu skin.
I defy you to think of a better one.
How about, well, you could use, maybe that is the best way to say it.
What about waifu bone covering?
You're moving in the wrong direction.
Waifu meat and bone sack, then.
Joe, can I take a look in your garage next time I visit you? I want to make sure there is, I'd just like to take a look if that's okay.
It's not.
And there she is. Woo mama. Elisa's one hot gal and Barrio is all in on that crazy.
I still want to see what mods have to offer, but this isn't the worst gooning material I've ever seen. Things have been rough for me on the physical intimacy front, so I can get going to the basics these days, really.
Why does she have a piece of hay in her mouth? Is she a farmer?
I've always wondered that too. It's possible it's connected to some cut dialogue, but I could see it also being a mistake in the artwork that was never caught by editors.
There is an errant brushstroke quality to it, but there's no way that's what it is, right?
It could be. An errant brushstroke is why the Mona Lisa's smile is that way. The year was 1503, and I started working as an artist model following my escape from Moldavia. Naturally, I did this in drag because female models were paid more and also got to lick the paintbrushes clean. You two know I love the taste of green paint. Ha ha.
Joe, you've told this story a million times, but I'm still doubtful the hay is a mistake. I'm in camp with the hay truthers, down with the brushstroke believers. Did she just steal your clothes? What's this girl's damage? What could possibly make a teenage girl this wild and emotionally stunted? 1 minute it seems like we're gonna get a fuck sesh. Next, she's pulling shit out of Animal House.
That's her appeal. You know that you're the only one who can warm her cold heart. Don't worry, Elisa. I'm here and I'll fix you.
I seem to recall those being your wedding vows to Michelle.
Not exactly, but something like that was in there.
I honestly don't know if I want to play this game. It clearly has a lot of charm. And while I rag on you, I value your suggestions when it comes to games, Barack. I'm not sure which waifu I'd want to go for, though. I'm not going Lolly, and Elisa's out of the question. Slavia seems nice, but I'm more intrigued by this Lena, who we never saw much of. Purple hair has always been my thing. My first girlfriend had purple hair. It was the result of a mutation because she lived near the Staten Island landfill.
I know this game isn't a polished masterpiece, but I truthfully can never suggest it enough. It's something special. I've felt things playing it that no other piece of media has ever come even close to replicating. It's made me look inside myself and at my life, leading me to change my life for the better. I'd put it in my top 5 favorite games of all time, even if it will never eclipse the original Silent Hill in the #1 spot.
Speaking of Silent Hill, I've been dying to do a replay of that. Maybe we'll have some time on the plane. I have a PS1, and you would be surprised at how easy it is to tear open the screen in an airplane headrest to hook up a game console.
You have a PS1 and a copy of Silent Hill just like in your pockets?
No, only the PS1, but I'd assume Donald has a copy of Silent Hill.
He's right, I do. I carry one with me everywhere I go. I need to be prepared in case all of my properties spontaneously combust at the same time.
Are you afraid that will happen?
A little. I have a lot of enemies.
You're right, Barack. This music sure is beautiful.
I'm glad you agree. Thanks for sharing this game with me, guys. You two are great friends.
Back at you, buddy.